Yeah, not too bad. There we go. Just wonder if that gasket, just wonder if my new gasket does fit. It's supposed to. Looks like it will. So now we got to take the tail shaft off. I'm going to lift it back up just like this and get all them bolts out. Okay, as you can see, I've torn this transmission, gotten the case and the rear housing separated. A little bit more than I bargained for on it. I was hoping it'd be like all the older manual transmissions I'd worked on, where you can just, where all the insides stay in the case, you can just pull the housing, rear housing off. This one is not like that, and it took me a while to figure it out. Had to do some research, found some helpful videos, but all of the insides are attached to the rear housing on this. And since I had to go that far, I decided to go ahead. I'd have already replaced the front seal here because that came in my little gasket kit. But what I found out is, in order to get these two separated, as you can see, it's got to be setting like this, because all your insides, all the heavy part of it is attached to this. You got to remove all these bolts. I forgot how many, but that's not really that important. You got to remove at least one of these Allen headed bolts. They are a metric, because, well, actually you can leave this one in if you want to just take the case off of this rear assembly. You remove this one, which actually goes through right here. You got to remove that. You have to pull 3 plugs out of here. You got to drill a hole in them and push them out. I had to order some new plugs. I have them now. They're right here. And these 3 shifter dogs have to come out with the springs. They go just like that in those holes I just showed you. And after you do that, and then you also have to, you want to take this off, which comes off the top right here. And you also have a spring and detent. This is supposedly prevents you from I forgot which way it goes. I have to look at the manual again, I think. But this prevents you, I know the spring goes there just like that. Yeah, it goes just like that. And for some reason my little roll pin there got spread apart. Don't know how that happened, but anyway, it fits on just like that. Spring goes in there. I gotta fix that roll pin. That's all it is. But that keeps you from going straight from fifth to reverse somehow. But that has to come out, and then once you got it sitting this way, the whole case pulls right off. So like I said, all I planned on doing was sealing this, but I might as well inspect the rest of it. Everything looks good up here. There was no metal in the case. I've already cleaned it out. Everything looks great. I'm not going to do a total rebuild. I just don't feel it needs it. There was no metal shavings in the case. It was good and clean. But I do want to replace the rear seal on this shaft, so I got to get all that off, and we'll know for sure that everything else looks good. And from what I could see, to get the rest of this apart, we take this screw out, and that comes out, and then you can take that out, and there's a bearing cage inside of it, 2 of them actually. As you can see, one of them stayed right there, and I don't think it matters which one's on top and which one's on bottom, but we'll go ahead and do them just like they came out. And I'll make sure that's clean. The floor's kind of clean, but the next thing I need to do, this is actually easy enough to do one-handed. You got to slide this out. That's where the shifter actually goes. You can set that right there. And I need to take these shifter rail plate screws out, and I think that whole plate will come off. Well, actually it'll let them release. And you got to take a at least the video I watched, you take a ratchet strap to hold all that together, and the whole assembly is supposed to lift off. We'll see how that works out. I wonder how tight these will be. Not too bad. Not bad at all. Okay. Let's see. This is as easy. Which actually, the video I watched, the guy didn't actually show it all coming out of there. So we'll see on that. Probably should lay this on the bench, get all the heavy stuff laying on the bench, and then pull the housing off. There we go. That's the way to do that. Let's hope no little pieces fly out. They shouldn't. Everything, all needle bearings seem to be in cages. We're not taking any shifter dogs apart. That's all staying together. And also, this here wants to kind of come out, so I kind of tied that down. So I bet that's going to be real fun to get together. Put another keep a 6 under there. A lot of trouble just to reseal housing, I tell you. Put a few seals in. That works though. There's my seal. I can get to it. There's also a magnet that goes in here that collects metal shavings, and it's got a few, but 112,000 miles. Not bad, really. Keep that down here in the tank. Okay, I'm going to drive this rear seal out. All I've got to fit for a driver, I got a few homemade driver thingamajigs. I don't have anything to fit this one, but this socket does fit it. It's a 1.5 inch socket. Forgot what I bought it for. But it looks like this seal will go through, will drive through either way, either this way or the other way. I don't see where there's any flat, so I've got to be careful and make sure I get it in there flush. It is just below this surface right here. So get my rubber mallet and hopefully it'll come out easy. Okay, maybe it won't come out that way. And maybe there is a stop. We'll see. There we go. Came right out, really, without hurting it. If I had to, I could probably use that over, but I won't. Okay, so now new seal right here. I'm going to make sure I got the right one. Put that in there and I'm going to drive it flush with a bigger homemade driver. Got a aluminum one right here. go, and I'm going to push it a little past the surface there, because that's the way the old one was. Probably won't matter, but as long as it seals up that surface it's meant to seal. That did it. Looks about right. And that's all there is, putting a seal in it. Now I get to put this together. Alright, I don't know how well this is going to work out, but we're going to try to get this thing together here. I'm going to put a little Vaseline where the seal goes. Right here. I didn't really use any kind of degreaser or lacquer thinner or anything on the bearings. So they should be still just as lubed up as they were. I'll put a little bit of Vaseline on it, that won't hurt. Make sure there's no dirt or anything. Like I said, this will probably not be easy. We'll see how this works. And one thing I almost forgot, we got to put our magnet back in. The little magnet slides right in there and it just collects all of your dust and your metal. Stuff like that. Need to get this gear meshing with that. Okay. Told you this wasn't going to be easy. I didn't really expect it to be either. Actually, the video I watched, I don't think he showed this part. What you gotta do, so far it looks like, need my flashlight, just start guiding everything in. It's not going to line up perfectly. You just kind of take everything one thing at a time. Another thing to remember, this hold down plate for your shifter rods, make sure it's slid into place there. Pull those rods, kind of helps line them up a little bit too. Wondering, this thing is kind of heavy. I don't know how this is going to work. If I can get this. Watch your knuckles. Nope. I think it's almost in. What I want to do is get it vertical. Just like I was had it set on these boards on the floor here. I don't want it falling off the table on me though. So I'm sliding it forward. Oh. Yeah, you can still kind of see what I'm doing. be on my side. We can get everything in place, I hope. It's almost there. In fact, I'm going to undo my strap. Okay, my gears are not meshed here. Just wondering if I can pry that up. This gear here. That's what, I did not have that gear meshed in with that gear. It's in there. Not as bad as I thought it would be. So now, okay, the shifter rail plate is flush. So I'm going to tighten up them bolts. And we got the hard part done. Okay, everything looks like it went together okay. A little bit of wrestling match, but the mistake I made was I did not have this bottom gear meshed with that, and it kind of got in a bind when the weight of that went down. I had to pry that up and it fell right in. But we're just going to tighten up these shifter rail guide plate bolts, and after that I will have to clean up and take a little trip to town to get me some gasket maker and some fluid. Got our Permatex, we can finish putting this together. Next thing to do, we stick this gear right here. And we got a pin. It's got to go in there. It's got to line up with this bolt hole right here. I got to find the bolt. First, I'm going to put my bearing cages in, and we got to push the bolt right here. And this pin's got to line up with this bolt hole right here. The bolt, you can see the hole on this end. There's another one right there. Just goes in there like that. Make sure it's good and tight. Got a little sealing washer, like a copper washer on top of that bolt too. So looks like all that's turning good. Now we got to put the shift rail in, which I think goes this way. Just goes in there like that. Let's see how it fits over here. Looks easy enough, so I just want to make sure I can get it on and off of there easy before I spread the sealant. Perfect. Now we have 2 dowel pins. One of them you can't see. It's right here. And should be another one. Where does that other one go? The other one goes right here. Right? Oh, I think it's got to go through this side. Yes, it does. Before I tap those in, we'll go ahead and start a couple bolts. Not going to tighten them, just going to start them to keep everything kind of aligned. Now, I better go ahead and start it. This goes to that pin, slides into the cage bearings on that little gear I put on. We got started. I'm not going to tighten it until I'm going to loosen this other one up too. I'm not going to tighten them until the case bolts tight. Leave them loose till then. Like I said, the other one you can't see. Let me drive it to the top. Now I'm going to put all the bolts in and I'm going to tighten and torque them. Alright, torque specs for the case half attaching bolts are 22 to 36 foot-pounds. I set it on a minimum 22 because it is aluminum. So we've tightened these, and now we got some shifter rail dogs we need to put in. Got 3 of them. One goes in each one of these. On top of that, the spring will go in just like that. Then I've got 3 of these guys right here. They drive in there. Honestly, I wish when they designed this, they'd have put set screws in that, so that you don't have to remove these and order some more and then tap them back in, because you can't get them out without tearing them up. At least I couldn't. So I'm gonna look for my flashlight, make sure my shifter rail is turned the right way. It better be, because it done bolted everything together. I don't think it can move because the shifter forks are attached to them with set screws, and I didn't loosen them, so they should still be in the right position. Okay, everything's lined up like it should be. Get these in transmission fluid. Stick each one in. Now let's see, I think I'm going to lay this case down on its stomach. This thing is heavy. There we go. matter on the position of that. We'll pull these out real quick. I'm trying to clean that transmission fluid out of the bore where the plugs are going to go. Let's see, I'm going to beat these plugs down flush first. Then I'm just going to go, it's about an 1/8 inch below, something like that. That looks close enough. Pretty good. Okay, all my plugs are driven in, and now we're going to put, this is supposed to be like an anti-reverse detent thing. I think it's supposed to keep you going from, when you shift into fifth, I think it's supposed to keep you going from fourth to reverse. Or maybe it keeps you from going from fifth to reverse. I can't remember exactly. It's an anti-reverse thingamajig. We'll put a gasket on this. This, might need my rubber mallet for it. This pin right here, or this hole right here, fits over the pin, over the roll pin. Kind of a snug fit, but I think really the easiest way to put this on is to start all your bolts, get it lined up. Well, you don't have to start them all. Just start 4 of them. And start pulling it down a little bit. Make sure nothing's binding up. And it's already touching on that corner. That. Okay, they say 7 foot-pounds, but that's only 84 inch-pounds. I'm going to go 120. I could really go tighter in that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think 7 foot-pounds is only 84 inch-pounds. 7 times 12 is 84, right? I think. That's tight enough. Now we're going to make sure it shifts. I'm not going to put this gasket on but yet because this, well, I might leave this on just to keep dirt from falling in there. But no, we're not going to put the gasket on yet because I'm going to, when I get it up in there, I'm going to use this to fill it up with. It'll be a lot easier than going in through the sight plug, which is, where is it? Right there. That would be a lot easier. But I want to go ahead and put the shifter on it. Make sure, oops, I'm missing something here. sound. I need to find this piece. I dropped it. Found it. Now, let's see. Try this again. These guys go in just like that. The slot's got to be up. So put that there. And there is a repair kit in case these plastic pieces go bad. Okay. I got that on backwards. The shifter leans back. Make sure that ball falls down into the hole in the shift rail. And there we go. Like I said, I'm not using a gasket yet because I'm going to take that back off. I just want to make sure it shifts okay. I'm getting too cluttered on my bench. I need to clean it up. That's why you hear stuff hitting the floor. Now, only reason I'm doing this right here, I'm not going to leave that on before I put it in the truck, of course, is make sure it shifts right. Now, let's see. Oops. Okay, we are in neutral. First, stay still. Second, up over third, fourth, and the noise you heard was my little tray full of sockets rattling around, and overdrive, which is fifth, and there's reverse, which it does not want to go in. That is fourth. There's reverse, right there. Fifth. Let's see, engine turns clockwise. My arm isn't long enough for me to see the shaft spin when I turn it. There we go. There we go. And yeah, shaft is turning opposite to the way, okay, the output shaft is turning opposite of the way I'm turning the input shaft, so that's right. Go straight to fifth. You can feel the resistance turning fast. I'm pretty sure we're good. First, which is like a granny gear. Second. Third. Fourth. Looking good. And like I said, I'm gonna take this off after I get it up in the truck and put my funnel down in there and fill it up, because that will be easier for the sight plug. Another good thing about that will be it'll oil all the gears up. So this transmission is together and ready to go in. Only thing I have left to do, which I'm not going to film, I'm going to put these plates on, and we'll use Permatex on all the bolts, or gasket maker on the bolts, because these threads go all the way through the case. You can see that.